minutes into today's spacewalk and are currently experiencing an acquisition of signal between the communication satellites that should be back up in just less than a minute.
I've changed my TCV setting to 3.
All right, so you moved your TCV to 3. That's probably a good move. You've been staying there for a long time.
Okay, Sunny, ready to start the joke aft to RF.
Aft back off position.
Okay, I'm ready for the joke test.
There's motion.
Okay, starting to ramp out motion. We're approaching the aft back off. We'll configure for the manual here, and then we've got the previous GCA. We can get you a little bit closer to the published.
Okay, sounds good. I'm right behind you. All right. Do you envision we're taking these all the way off? Or what are you thinking?
And Sunny, we're looking at taking the one that hasn't moved all the way off and then evaluating from there. Obviously, we'll need all of your feedback as you both work this.
Hey, Sunny. We are configured for manual approach. We'll start the GCA, and I'll take you to publish first, and then we'll continue in another 20 centimeters. Or 20 centimeters after that.
Sounds good. I'm just rearranging my trash bag, getting it ready.
You got it. I'll give you a countdown as we go. We're starting motion.
Motion.
Copy, good motion.
This is Mission Control Houston.
Sonny, got another 1.25 meters to go.
That looks good. Sounds good. Spin back.
Okay.
It is behind your back, but it's clear. It's all safe. It's all not entangled with anything.
You mean my safety tether?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It's safe. Yeah. It's all good.
Sonny, we're passing the publish right now, continuing on with the...
This is Mission Control Houston. We are about 2 hours and 45 minutes into today's spacewalk. That's US EVA 92 with NASA astronauts Sunita Williams in the red stripes and NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore with no markings on his suit.
Got it? Thank you.
After releasing all of the structural bolts on the radio frequency group, at this point, Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore are trying to get some motion in the RFG.
Yep.
They're returning to the wedge clamps to attempt to remove the wedge clamp bolts.
Position that we had you in last time.
And we will continue working through the procedure for the removal of the radio frequency group.
Sonny, that was 10 toward your head. And then another... There you go, 10 in.
Yep. You were still clear. Yep.
Five more forward. Okay, that's your X, and then...
Body up. Body left.
Yeah, we're at your body up. The body left we can give you. You took 5 centimeters last time.
I need the more body up this time. Let's go 10 centimeters body up.
Okay, let's do that then. 10 centimeters body up. Motion. That's 10 centimeters.
Then did we go in more or left?
We can give you in.
5 in.
5 in. Five in.
Okay. You go 5 left.
Okay, I'll give you that 5 to the left. 5 left.
Okay, I think that's complete.
Okay, copy that. GCA complete. Brakes on.
All right, we ready?
I'm ready.
Are we just going to take this all the way off?
All right, I understand GCA completes, and Butch, if you can pass Sunny the ratchet, and you can get the RFG wrench in place. And the object here is to release the bolt entirely, and catch what you can if you see anything coming off, and let us know what you get. And then we'll move on to the next ones as necessary.
Looks like. Yeah, the threads are below squiggling. Going to continue on. Take it all the way off.
Watching. If you can get it all the way off, let us know.
It's pretty wiggly now. Like washers are coming up and down. Moving up and down.
That sounds good. And Sonny, if you can keep track of how many turns it takes to take the nut completely off, that might be helpful to us as well.
That was one more turn. Now I see the threads are below the top of the... Two turns. I see two threads on the inside of the bolt.
I think anything's going to come off this side because
It can't.
yeah.
It's all underground.
This is Mission Control Houston, 2 hours, 51 minutes into today's spacewalk by Sunita Williams and Butch Wilmore. They are continuing to work off of a crib sheet, as it's called, to try to coax the radio frequency group antenna system off of its stanchion on the exterior of the International Space Station. This is the third attempt during as many EVAs to get this radio frequency group removed and placed back in the airlock for return to Earth and refurbishment on a later SpaceX Dragon resupply mission. The work is continuing. The flight control team here, under the supervision of Flight Director Rebecca Wingfield and Lead Spacewalk Officer Sandy Fletcher, are continuing to discuss alternate methods by which the radio frequency group can be removed and safely backed away, with Sunny Williams holding it as she will ride the Canadarm2 robotic arm back to the airlock for its stowage.
I think you're coming off a little bit as you're moving it. That didn't look like you were on straight.
That piece of metal is in the way now.
Are you starting to see clearance between the washers and the head of that?
Stand by. Just for a sec. Washer just came off. I mean, the nut just came off. Bye.
And we copy, thanks.
There's a little washer and then about 5 more washers.
Oh, that's a pretty good stack up.
They're not coming off fast.
Okay, and the bolt itself, did that end up anywhere?
I got the bolt in the trash can.
Got it. You got the bolt in the back. All right, we have a 20-second LOS. I'll pick you up on the other side. Good catch on the washer.
Man. Okay, this is nerve-wracking. 1, 2, 3 more.
So they're slowly liberating in front of you, I see.
I have to encourage them to come off.
Yeah, I don't know if the bolt puller might help you encourage those to come off.
As we approach the 3-hour mark for today's spacewalk, you can see a view out of here from the helmet camera as the crew continue to work to release that RFG from the stowage platform. We will continue to monitor and provide updates.
Sonny, we'd like you to move on to the next bolt, and we move that one as well.
Just let it go. If this last one comes off, just let it go.
Well, if you can catch it, you can catch it. If not, that's okay.
Which one do I do next?
Next one in line. You didn't see any dramatic change in motion or anything on those other ones, right?
Do you see any motion? Oh.
And just as a status, we're about 3 hours into this, and the limiting is 754 on battery.
You. Turning that thing? Oh, you're on it, right?
I'm on it. Can you see it turning?
Yeah, I see it now.
So we understand. So as you're turning this, you're starting to see a little bit of clearance on the washers. The washers are still expanding, or are they bouncing around.
Yeah. They're bouncing around. They're totally loose.
Okay, so the washers are totally loose.
Trying to do.
Got it.
Yeah.
Going.
Taking them off.
Still taking them off until we're told otherwise.
Almost there. Not you. Nuts.
All right, second nut is off. Good catch.
The washer is off. Okay, the little washer's off.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are just at 3 hours into today's spacewalk. That's EVA 92, US EVA 92, with NASA astronauts Sunny Williams and Butch Wilmore. The view that you see right now is from the two crew members' helmet cameras, and they are continuing to diagnose and work through the removal of the radio frequency group.
And Sunny, just a quick question on those other two washers. Are they bouncing at all, or they look like they're fixed to the plate?
They're totally bouncing. I just got the one from the fourth.
Haven't come off yet. Okay.
It's as far away for it to go, and I don't have anything to poke it to get it to come up. It's just staying down there.
I understand. You can move on to the third one.
On your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore with no markings. He is EV2 for today's spacewalk. And to his left, or to the left side of our screen, we can see Sunny Williams, who is EV1 wearing the red stripes. Both continue to work on the removal of the radio frequency group, which is the piece that is coming out right there in front of Sunny's helmet.
Turn. You're on there, right?
I'm on there.
There it goes. Off. Washer's coming on. Go. Just gonna sit there. Oh. Get them off. Okay. More there. And I think that one's. I guess you can wiggle it. You can wiggle it a little bit. Those are like pretty close. Come on. Yeah. It's okay. Leave it. Leave it. Going. Off.
This view coming to you live from the International Space Station is Butch Wilmore. And you can see the Canada Arm-2 robotic arm on your screen. On the portable foot restraint at the end of that arm is Sunita Williams. Both continue to work on the radio frequency group this morning for US EVA 92. We're about 3 hours and 8 minutes into today's spacewalk.
So, Sonny, did you end up with one washer still sitting there at the end of this one, too?
One washer is just at the middle one here.
Okay.
The last one came off. This one I'm going to try to pull off.
Okay, just be careful with your gloves, as usual. And if you need the needle nose, that might be another option. And let us know when you move on to the fourth one.
I'm on the fourth one.
Okay, let us know when you move on to the fifth one.
Sorry.
Counting is a problem for me sometimes.
The ratchet.
And so while you guys are working the fifth one, I will give you a few words here. So our plan is once you get the fifth one done and cleaned up as best you can, we're going to look around and ensure there's no bits of metal or washers floating around that we can see or that we can catch. Then we'll move Sonny back around to the front. We'll get Butch in a good position, and we're going to undo those last two structural bolts. And then after we get those last two structural bolts done, initially we're going to try that soft dock catch again with a hammer for Butch. And then once we've done that, we're probably going to have Butch go around and tap the edges, sort of like a pickle jar. I know Butch doesn't have this problem getting pickle jars open with his hands, but some of us have to, tap it with the back end of a knife. And that was our intent there. And I'm going to come back and try the bolt pullers to pry it again, and then we get one last option involving a bolt puller from the front as well.
No.
And we have reached the point now in time where we won't be able to finish any other tasks. So we're really just focusing on this for the rest of the day.
Like it's on there, is it?
Yeah, I think so.
I didn't feel anything.
I didn't either. It was tightened by mistake.
What's that?
This washer's coming off. For 4 of them, I've got every piece so far. On the last one. Almost done here. Bye.
This is Mission Control Houston. Today's spacewalk began at 6:43 a.m. Central Time, and we are about 3 hours and 15 minutes into today's spacewalk.
All right.
The crew are at the radio frequency group working on the removal of this S-band antenna.
Sounds good.
This is a top priority task for today's EVA. On your screen right now, you can see NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore as EV2 with no markings on his suit. And above his right arm, you can see Sunita Williams, who is EV1 with the red stripes. You may have just heard that spacewalk communicator NASA astronaut Stephen Bowen mentioned that we will forego the other tasks that are planned for today, that were planned for today's spacewalk, to prioritize the RFG removal. Now that we are focusing on this task, we have a little bit more margin to get this done and multiple options to remove the RFG.
And you can buy
Comes your rat.
And Butch, you can stow your tool as well.
The other two tasks, swabbing for microorganisms on the airlock and preparing the Canadarm elbow joint for a future spacewalk, were a much lower priority and will be scheduled to a future spacewalk.
Yeah, I just have 3 on this last one, and that's it. I got all the rest of them. They finally came out. To get these guys to come up.
So that's great words. If there's any tools or anything you can think Butch can hand you to get those last couple off, it'd be nice to get those cleaned up before we head to the front.
One more. 6. Liberated, yay. I did. Okay, I got them all, Steve.
Outstanding,
my
Senator.
trash bag.
Fantastic. All right, so with that, we're going to turn you over to Nick to take you around the front. Butch, get in a good position for clearance, and then once she's gone, while we're setting up the Joe Cassis, we'll have a few more words, but I think we're ready to go.
Okay, Nick and Dawn, I am ready. I'm leaning back. I think I'm clear of everything.
Okay, copy that, Sonny. I'm going to bring you body down first. We'll take that out, and then I'll back you off, body out.
Hang on, Sonny.
What's up?
May need you to pull this over my head.
Okay, stand by, Nick.
Yep, it's holding.
Go over my head. Is that where it needs to go?
It's right in front of you.
And we just came back from a brief communication handover period with 3 hours and 18 minutes into today's spacewalk.
Nicely done. All right.
For those of you who are just joining us, US EVA 92 began this morning at 6:43 a.m. Central Time. And given the amount of time it has taken to remove the radio frequency group, this will be the sole task the crew will focus on today during today's spacewalk.
Good motion.
Good motion.
The other two tasks that were planned for today's spacewalk, swabbing for microorganisms on the airlock and preparing the Canadarm to elbow joint for a future spacewalk, will be foregoed and will be rescheduled to a future spacewalk.
you see how many washers? You couldn't see how many washers are on the other side, could you?
It's hard to tell.
Yeah.
2 or 3.
Another meter and a half to go, Sonny.
Really clear.
Okay, Sonny, I'm ramping out. This is the RFG app back off. Stand by while I reconfigure.
Stand by.
All right, so while you two are waiting for the reconfiguration, we could get a glove and hat check.
One, the hat is dry. Gloves are fine. They just have a little bit of marking on them. A little bit of dark, but RTD and everything is fine.
Sunny. We caught that you had some markings on your gloves, and RTV's all fine.
RTV is good. It's just like some dark stuff from those nuts and bolts.
Understand.
I don't know if it's grease or if it's just marking.
So I appreciate that, Sonny. And Butch, how you doing?
Got the hammer ready.
All right, you have the hammer ready. How's the glove and hat? That's the last thing I need. We had Radicom there for a minute.
Oh, sorry about that. I was focused. That's dry.
Hap is dry. That's good. And you still have the same RTV flap? Okay.
RTV right, inboard right thumb.
Inboard right thumb. Has not changed. You got the hammer ready, and Sonny's getting ready to move again.
Okay, Sonny, we're configured. Going to start motion to the intermediate position.
Okay, ready for motion. After motion.
Copy.
This is Mission Control Houston. On your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Sunita Williams, EV1, being moved over from the work site she was at with the radio frequency group to the other side, using the Canadarm2 robotic arm. As you are following along on today's spacewalk, this is the 274th spacewalk in support of station maintenance, assembly, and upgrades. With about 3 hours and 25 minutes into today's spacewalk, we will continue to follow along as the top priority task for today's EVA is the removal of the radio frequency group.
Okay.
There's a motion.
This live view coming to you right now is of the flight control room here in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, Mission Control Houston at the Johnson Space Center. We are experiencing a brief handover period between communication satellites. And as I shared moments ago, the top priority for today's EVA is the removal of the RFG, or the radio frequency group.
Sunny, we're in position hold. Stand by, configure for the approach.
The RFG is an S-band antenna. It was unable to be released from the stanchion mounting plate during previous EVAs.
My head up. Are you going to go manual?
The two previous attempts that we have tried this before were on US EVA 86, and that was the same EVA that our ground IV NASA astronaut Stephen Bowen was on. It was not, the task was not able to be completed during that time, likely due to the excessive force needed to overcome the wedge clamps. Then we tried again 3 EVAs later with US EVA 89. The RFG was inspected, but it was not attempted due to the time spent on the other tasks. So today with US EVA 92, this is a top priority task, and this will be the primary task we are focusing on for today's EVA. The 2 remaining tasks will be pushed to a future spacewalk. And there you have it, communications coming back with Sunny Williams on the Canadarm2 robotic arm.
Ready to go.
All right, Sunny, I'm configured for the manual approach, so we'll start the GCA.
Okay. Published plus. Right?
Yep, we're going to go to the published station aft, about 2.5 meters.
Roger.
There's motion.
Motion.
The space station is currently 260 miles off of Earth, flying over Bulgaria as we reach the 3.5-hour mark into today's spacewalk.
Hey, Sunny, a little over a meter to go. I fed in a little port and station nadir.
That looks good. Perfect. Coming.
We can see Sunita Williams approaching the other side of the radio frequency group. As the duo attempt to remove this S-band antenna from stowage platform 2 aboard the International Space Station.
And more, Sunny. Okay, there's published.
Okay. Be complete.
Okay, copy. GCA complete.
With GCA complete, Sunny will need you to get
All right, Steve.
a RET onto the RFG. Let me know when that's done.
Got my large small hook on the RFG. My PGT out.
All right, we're looking at alpha 4, counterclockwise 2, and it should be at
1.
30.5.
Alpha. Alpha 4, counterclockwise 2.
And you should have 2 bolts there, Bravo and Juliet. And
That was Bravo.
all right, pick one, and it's 11 turns, and it should be released.
Pretty quick. Good. Clockwise 2. Alpha 4, counterclockwise 2. That was Bravo.
Copy, Bravo.
It's so bright. Turn, low torque. Out.
All right,
Bravo's out. We'll go for the other one. Next one.
Bravo's out, and you can have a go for Juliet.
In turn, the torque, it's out.
Juliet is out. If you could verify all 8 structural bolts are popped out, just give them a quick poke and make sure they pop back out.
All are out.
All right, that's good.
All right.
GT
Ready
and
to
swing
try
arm.
this? Swing arm and stowed. Are we ready for this, Steve?
If you got everything stowed, everything's been checked, you can try and remove the RFG from the stanchion. And Butch, if you're in a good position, we can take the hammer to the soft dock stanchion.
Doing both. Golly, this thing is not moving.
It's not moving.
It is not moving.
Okay, so we're back where we started, but we're going to try a few new things.
Got to have something else holding it.
So the next step was if you could tap around the outer edge to see if we can just kind of break it free from whatever's holding in place, whether it be the cotherm or something else.
Pickle jar.
The pickle jar.
Budging.
It's not budging.
Okay. All right, so our next thing is we are going to go to the bolt pullers. And Butch, I'd actually like you to hand one of those bolt pullers to Sonny, and Sonny, if you could put it on one of your rets, and you'll have the other one in the back, Butch. And you might need to get yourself back in that BRT position you had earlier once you've got that done. All right, Butch, you can keep both bolt pullers yourself now, and we'll eventually get the one to Sonny if this last effort doesn't work.
Okay.
So we're just trying to catch up down here, Butch. I think I might have missed a call. Where are you with the bolt pullers?
I have one out.
Okay. And
I'm getting the other.
All right. We want you to keep both of them, and we're going to try that double pry on the back initially.
Okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are at 3 hours and 41 minutes into today's spacewalk, while Williams and Wilmore continue to pull the RFG off its stanchion. Sunny Williams just broke a record while completing the tasks on today's spacewalk. And this spacewalk continues and this record continues to mount as she continues today's spacewalk. Sunny Williams just surpassed former NASA astronaut Peggy Whitson's EVA aggregate record of 60 hours and 21 minutes. And once again, that record keeps mounting at each passing minute. Sunny Williams will have 9 spacewalks completed after today's EVA, while Peggy Whitson still has 10 under her belt. But once again, NASA astronaut Sunny Williams in red stripes during today's EVA just surpassed the record of the total EVA hours by a female astronaut.
And Sunny, looking ahead, we're thinking out loud here. From your position in ESP2, we're looking at potentially giving you a bolt puller to help pry that RFG off from the front. However, we don't want to do that while you're in the arm. So if you could assess to see if there's a BRT position you could achieve that would still allow you access to the front, or if Butch could come around and have a BRT position that would give him access to the front, that would be helpful.
The crew is back to where we started, and the smaller picture you do see on the screen is of a NASA astronaut and today's ground IV, Stephen Bowen, chatting with our flight director, Rebecca Wingfield, and in between the two of them is Will Vu, capsule communicator.
Nothing else that is holding this box in position, so that's why we're kind of trying everything. So we appreciate all your thoughts and efforts if you have anything to add.
It just feels like it's stuck. I mean, it's so hard. I mean, you'd think that it would wiggle a little bit. Nothing. Not even giving it at all. That's the weird part.
Yeah, we don't see anything either, even when we're wishful thinking. So if it does come off, I think it's going to come off all of a sudden. So be aware of that. We don't want you to hurt yourselves or hurt the station. So just keep that in mind as you're applying load to it.
Good comm and good words from our ground IV, Stephen Bowen, as the crew continue to attempt to remove the radio frequency group.
I will say the rails that it rides in on the sides here, it's pretty tight. It's like riding right on top of that.
All right, so you don't see a good place to BRT yourself to the front there, the ESP, because like I said, if we're going to use you as part of the prying.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of BRT places here.
Okay, so our next step would potentially just have you step out of the arm and get yourself locked into the ESP so you can get some prying force in the front. And I give you directions once we if this doesn't work, hopefully Butch can get it this time.
It is bouncing back here.
I can feel something moving while you're doing that.
You can see there Sunny Williams trying to rejig and move around the radio frequency group to see if it will come out of its stanchion.
Cameras are everywhere.
I'm lifting it all the way up, all the way down.
All right, Butch, are you getting any motion on the back?
Up and down, not forward though.
So you're getting up and down, but not forward.
You can see it up and down, going up and down back there. Yeah.
Butch, do you see any motion at the docking interface?
No.
All right, Butch, can you get any load forward and aft instead of just up and down with the pry bars back there? You might turn the bars around and put the hook end in.
I'm trying. Again, the hook end, it's hard to get in.
You can try 2 pry bars
All
next
right,
if you can.
wiggle, Sonny.
Like it's stuck at the front now?
It does. It looks like it because this backside's moving.
So I'm wondering if, like, on the sides here where it comes in, I don't know if you guys can see, Steve, but, like, the rails that it rides on is, like, so close on those rails.
All right, that's an interesting observation.
It hit it on either side.
Okay. All right, Butch, I think we're ready to hand off 1 pry bar to Sunny. Sunny, we'd like you to look at a good position off of the arm to get yourself BRT'd so we can get some pry into the front of there, and I'll give you direction once you're set.
You can tell that I'm lifting the back, but something is holding it down in the front.
Yeah. I agree.
Something is holding it down on that side.
You want to come over here, take a look at this?
Yes, I'll try and describe what we were going to do with
All
the
these bolts
bolt
are
puller.
undone.
Yeah, the bolt puller we were going to put between E and F, so between the jacking bolts and the one to the port side with the hook end. And by doing that, you should be able to be between the 2 bolt holes that should be cleared now. Does that make sense, Sonny? So hook end underneath.
Can you reach it, Sonny?
Between Echo and Foxtrot.
Can you reach the bolt puller, Sonny?
Where is it?
Down low. Yep.
Put the hook end where?
Hook end underneath between Echo and Foxtrot.
I'm going to keep your tether on it for right now.
Okay.
I have to get out of the arm for this?
Just assess if you can get it in there to start before we make you get out of the arm.
Okay, so I'm putting the hook end, which means it's going to be close to, there's something there?
Yep, there should be something, and then you just rotate and see if you can pry anything.
There it goes.
There it goes.
Okay, the bolt puller back.
It's free.
Let go of
That was it.
All right, let me get my DRT off the sand rail.
Congratulations.
All right.
And there was much rejoicing.
All right. Holy moly. That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say.
Oh, maybe that jacking bolt was holding things.
PFR I've got my hands on.
Holy moly is right. You hear that, we just successfully removed the radio frequency group from the...
I want to double check to make sure you've got a ret to the RFG. Butch, you got to watch your head a little bit, but let's start getting you cleaned up back there. And remember all the loose parts back there. If you see anything floating off, catch them. If you can, let us know which way they're going. Don't touch the base plate.
It's all
There's
floating off. I'm
edges.
grabbing it. It's all floating off.
Can and let us know. And we've got plenty of time, so we're in a great config here.
Okay, Steve.
Three hours and 50 minutes into this morning's EVA, and on the third attempt of two previous spacewalks, the radio frequency group is finally free from the external stowage platform 2.
I'm configured to do the back off.
Sunny Williams is moving that RFG that we can see on our screen. And this took place this morning at 10:33 a.m. Central, 11:33 a.m. Eastern, while the space station is flying above the Indian Ocean.
That's fantastic news. All right, so let's you all do a quick assessment of your areas, and I'm going to make sure we're all set down here before we move on. So give us 1 minute. All right, Sonny, we're going to give the go here for the RFG off the, let's see. We're going to give you a go for maneuvers to retrieve the back off through to intermediate position. And Butch, once you're all set, you can translate to the airlock. So with that, Nick, I'm ready for you to pick up.
Okay, Steve. Sonny, we're configured. I'm going to take you station forward.
Okay, station forward. I'm ready for motion.
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 Copy, good motion.
I think just with the weight, it took a little while for me to feel it. Yeah.
Reiterated.
At the 3 hour and 50 minute mark of today's spacewalk, NASA astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunny Williams successfully removed the radio frequency group off of the external stowage platform 2 of the International Space Station. The priority going forward will be getting the RFG stowed in the airlock and cleaning up the work site. You're following along on US EVA 92, the 274th spacewalk in support of assembly, maintenance, and upgrades to the International Space Station. This is Mission Control Houston.
You can open this, once you get over the airlock, you can open the thermal cover, verify it can stay fully open and it'll be clear for the ingress.
Okay, I have grabbed a large small that was holding down the MLI to put on the RFG when we get there.
And Butch, you can leave the MLI for the RFG as it is. We're going to come back and take pictures when we clean that up. And once you get to the airlock, we want you to open the thermal cover, verify it'll stay open, and you can go in the airlock and retrieve the microorganisms caddy and stow it on airlock handrail 554 for two reasons: to get it out of the way and just in case we have time to do samples near the airlock.
Okay, Sonny, we're configured. Here comes motion to the intermediate.
Okay, motion to the intermediate. Exit motion.
Okay.
We see good motion as the Canadarm2 robotic arm takes NASA astronaut Sunny Williams, EV1, with the radio frequency group to the airlock of the International Space Station, where Sunny Williams will place the RFG into the airlock for future refurbishment. That refurbishment will take place once the RFG is returned to Earth on a future cargo resupply mission.
Okay, Sonny, it's ramping out.
Okay. The airlock, I see Butch in the airlock right now.
Okay, Sonny, we're at the intermediate and stand by while I configure for the airlock.
Okay.
So, Butch, how's it going over there?
Going good.
Got the double large small.
And Butch, are you having any issues with the thermal cover coming fully open and making sure it's clear?
That's open.
All right.
Did you want me to get the microorganisms out?
Out to get it out of the way at least. So you want to pull that out and stow it on 554.
Okay.
Sonny, ready for motion to airlock back off?
I am ready for motion. Airlock back off.
Starting motion.
If you are just joining us, this is Mission Control Houston providing live coverage of US EVA 92. We are just past the 4-hour mark of today's EVA. This spacewalk was the third attempt at the removal of the radio frequency group, an S-band antenna. RFG is now on its way with Sunny Williams to be stowed inside the airlock. Just a few moments ago, we did see Sunny Williams being moved on the robotic arm back to that airlock to stow RFG. The Canadarm 2 robotic arm is being operated by NASA astronaut Nick Hague from inside the space station. We also have views coming into you live right now from the International Space Station Flight Control Room, where crews are monitoring activities while we are also experiencing a handover between communication satellites.
Hey, Sunny, we're approaching the end of the maneuver.
Okay.
Hey, Sunny, we're in position hold. Stand by while I reconfigure for the manual approach.
Okay.
You are looking at live views right now from the International Space Station as we are just at about 4 hours and 2 minutes into today's spacewalk. NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore is currently at the airlock awaiting Sunny Williams' arrival with the RFG to be stowed inside the airlock. A top priority for today's EVA, US EVA number 92.
Hey, Sunny. So the first GCA to publish is going to take you a meter body forward, and that's to get you into position for the reorientation and ret swap. So I'm going to stand by until everybody's good to start that GCA.
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet.
Yeah, Butch is still getting configured here, and I have a couple words before we move on, but we're getting close.
Okay. I have the large, small on the circular handrail.
Those are good words, Butch, and I'd like you to double check your safer handles down.
Okay.
All right, Butch, are you ready for me to move in a meter and then we'll assess if I need to come in further?
Both those safer handles are down. I'm ready.
All right.
All right, Nick and Don.
Just a quick one, Sunny. All right, just watch the thermal cover. Make sure it's out of the way as you guys come in. And Nick, you have a go to maneuver to the airlock back-off position.
Okay, Sonny. We'll start the GCA. It's a meter body forward.
Okay, 1 meter body forward.
There's motion.
Motion.
Another half meter to publish.
Roger.
Sonny, that is published. Let me know how much further you want to go.
Butch, can you see me? I think I probably need to come in another half meter for you to get the handle. I hang on to the...
I see you.
Let me try and maneuver it now, or come in a little closer.
I can't reach anywhere near those handles now.
Yeah.
But you need to come in closer.
How about if you give us a half a meter more, Nick?
Okay, half meter body in.
At 4 hours and 7 minutes into today's spacewalk, the crew is in the process to stow the RFG or radio frequency group in the airlock. Depending on how much time this takes, the flight control team will reevaluate that timeline to see if there's any time to complete other tasks. Ground IV, Stephen Bowen, did share with the crew that we would not be able to complete other tasks, so that's being reevaluated, and we will report back with additional updates as they become available.
15 to go.
Sunny Williams nearing the airlock with the radio frequency group, while Butch Wilmore supports this task of stowing the radio frequency group into the airlock.
That's good, Sonny. I'll throw brakes on.
Okay, brakes on.
Good teamwork between the crew.
Are you going to fly me in more?
Yeah, if you do the red swap.
Yeah. You're going to have to take my red off there?
I got 2 reps on it.
Yeah.
I got one on me from the...
All right, you can just let it go.
So, Butch, have you got the large, small ret from the airlock on there as well as yours? And then you've released Sunny's? Is that what you said?
That's correct.
The RFG slowly being lowered into the airlock.
The clamshell, you're holding that as secure as you can. And Butch, I think we're ready to pick up with the GCA, or as necessary to get this thing in there.
I'm going to take mine off.
A good idea once you got the one
I'm
from
going to take
airlock.
mine off. Okay. Airlock's on. We're ready.
Okay, copy that, Butch. I'm going to go brakes off, starting the GCA.
Go straight in.
Yeah, Sonny, the published is another 80 centimeters body in.
Okay. I like that. Butch, you like that?
I like it.
All right, just watch as it's coming in.
Okay, here we go, nice and slow.
Good comm between the crew on getting this RFG stowed in the airlock. We can see good views of that.
There's motion.
Okay. Motion.
Good motion.
And we can see NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore on the top of your screen, while Sunny Williams is on the bottom of the screen, who is actually holding the RFG and stowing it into the airlock. monitoring that closely to ensure that the RFG is safely stowed in the airlock. The RFG is a radio frequency group that is an S-band antenna.
Can't see the other side with the low gain.
You're doing great. Perfect. Coming.
So 30 to go.
Going.
The RFG stowage continues to proceed.
You're looking perfect.
Which our heads are going to get real close here.
Go a little bit closer to station.
Is that so this
Towards station.
This way?
Yep, right there. Keep coming.
All right, you just have to back your head up a little bit. Go down, yeah.
Keep going. It barely fits, but it went in. Keep going.
Another 15 centimeters for published.
Yeah, keep going.
Parts in.
Parts in.
That's published.
That's great.
I'll let it go.
You let it go.
All right. Got the donut just on the edge there.
Let it go. Can you lean back?
Yeah, I can lean back. You got it.
Butch, good job letting Nick do all the work there.
Absolutely.
Avoid bumping the RFG during airlock
All right.
stow to protect the Z93 paint and the low gain antenna.
Try. Am I hanging out here for a while to see if it's all good, or are we going back?
Just a couple seconds. We want to make sure Butch gets this in there. And we've got great view, by the way, Butch. We can see what you're doing, so looks like you're getting it in a good spot. Good job clearing the umbilicals. Make sure they're available to y'all when you get inside. To make sure it's in a secure spot, feel free. Unhooked unnecessarily.
Look in there.
The SCU is around the... I'm going to hang on a second.
And there you have some great helmet cam views coming in at the 4-hour and 13 mark of today's spacewalk. The pair of astronauts have safely stowed or are continuing to stow the radio frequency group, an S-band antenna, into the airlock of the Quest module of the International Space Station.
Jackie said cameras are everywhere.
We are watching the RFG getting secured in place.
That looks like it's a good spot.
A good spot. I like it.
One positive verification is you think both of you will be able to get inside there with that in place, and then we'll be able to move on.
Assessment is yes. Okay.
That's what we wanted to hear.
I'll be snug, but we'll get it.
Good.
Right below your feet.
Okay.
You want to back me off a little bit, maybe?
And we're ready for you to head back to ESP2, Sonny. Nick, you can pick up with that. And Butch, once you egress the airlock, you can shut the thermal cover, and we'll have you pick up with a microorganism.
Okay.
Okay, Sonny, you're coming body back.
Okay, sounds good. Ready. Ready for motion.
There's motion.
I'm leaving my PGT in here then, right?
But you can leave your PGT.
Motion.
Views from outside of the space station, right by the airlock, you can see Butch Wilmore's feet as he stows the RFG, and Sunita Williams is slowly backing away on the Canada arm to robotic arm.
Sonny, that's a back-off position. I'm going to reconfigure for a couple of drug tests to get you in front of ESP2.
Roger that. I'm ready. Just tell me when we start. I see all my tools sort of do this little wave when when the motion stops. Goes.
Steve, I also left the 2 crowbars in here.
I'd like you to take one of those with you. So take one of the bolt pullers with you when you go outside. You can temp stow it outside the airlock. We might have Sunny stow that, depending on how time goes as we're coming back.
Okay.
And it goes in the toolbox outside the airlock.
Right to that toolbox. So if we get a chance, we're going to have you stow it. But if not, let's have you put it back where you got it.
Sonny, here comes motion.
Okay, ready for motion.
All right, Butch, now that you're getting back outside, just need a quick word on any flakes you thought might have been coming from the RFG, or if it was just anything else that you saw in there. And I'm going to have you stow the bolt puller while you've got it available before we pick up with microorg.
Where do you want me to stow it?
It's going to go right above you in the airlock toolbox. Sorry.
In the starboard one, right, Steve?
Yeah, it goes in the starboard airlock toolbox. So once you get stable, I need you to double check your safer handles down, and I'll have you stow that before you do your glove and hap checks and the thermal cover as well. But did you see any RFG flaking on the paint or any other indications?
I did not. Safer handles are down.
Safer handles are down. Okay, if you want to head right up to the starboard toolbox, we can stow that bolt puller without you having to delay. And we'll get the thermal cover when you come back down. It should only be a couple minutes.
I've already tried to get it now. Thermal cover shut.
Thank you.
The starboardmost toolbox, top or bottom.
In the Zenith door. And Sonny, did you see any flaking off the
Zenith.
RFG? All right, you didn't see it. Copy that. Thank you, Sonny. Okay.
I didn't either.
It's on the Zenith door, Butch, and it should be open the Zenith door, and you should just see the open receptacle for the bolt puller, and it should put it right back in place. There's two locking tabs once you get it open.
Sonny, stand by while I plug in the next JoeCast.
Roger that. Stand by.
You get it in place and you close those two tabs, let me know.
If you are just joining us, this is Mission Control Houston providing live coverage of US EVA 92. We are past the 4-hour and 22-minute mark of today's EVA. Today's EVA began at 6:43 a.m. Central, and this spacewalk was the third attempt at the removal of the radio frequency group and S-band antenna. Using a little bit of brute force on this third attempt, the crew were able to remove and stow the RFG in the Quest airlock. Teams on the ground are continuing to re-evaluate if the crew can complete the second task planned for this EVA, the microorganism swab. Meanwhile, the crew is going back to the external stowage platform to the location of the RFG to complete cleanup of the worksite. We will keep you posted.
Two tabs are in place. It is in.
Excellent, Butch. Now, if you close the toolbox door.
Toolbox door is closed.
Just close the door. Just one of the latches. That's all I need from you is one of the latches on the door.
Both latches are closed.
Okay, when you get a chance, glove and haps from everybody.
Hap is dry, gloves are good.
Copy, Sonny.
Hap is dry, stand by on the gloves.
If you want to sit there for a minute, we want to give Sonny a chance to get off the arm and work that APFR to make sure we get it out of that whiff before we send you out to finish out the microorgs.
Okay. She's going to do the MLI.
Yeah, we'll have her pick up the MLI, provided that the whiff, we get the APFR out of the whiff successfully.
Roger.
Our plan is to have Sonny clean up everything out at ESP2 once we get the whiff moving, check the whiff, and we'll send you out to do the microorganisms, the full thing on the other side of the lab. We'll let you assess that. This is now clearly a get-ahead for us since you guys really accomplished the main task for the day, and let us know what you're thinking.
I'm all in.
Sounds good.
Sounds good to me, too.
Hey, Sonny, we're configured to bring you in, manual approach, GCA to the published, which is going to be that 2.5 meter station aft.
Okay, sounds good. I might have you come in a little bit closer.
And we just heard that call out from our ground IV, Stephen Bowen, up to the crew, that we will continue on, or Butch Wilmore will continue on to the second task associated with today's EVA, the microorganism swab. Meanwhile, Sunny Williams will go back to, or is returning back to, external stowage platform number 2 to complete cleanup of the worksite. This was the worksite where the RFG was initially installed.
Another 1.5 meters to go. You go.
How much?
Just as a reminder, the second task that Butch Wilmore will be conducting today is the collecting of microorganism samples. The goal of this task is to swab external locations on the ISS to determine the presence of any microbial life surviving at vacuum. They're specifically checking locations where microbes from inside the ISS could be deposited on external surfaces, like around the vents, the airlock, and commonly used handrails.
I want to start ramping out. About 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, ramped out.
Yeah.
How's that look?
That looks good. How much more was left for published?
5 centimeters.
Oh, we're fine. We're good.
Brace coming up.
Great. All right, I'm going to get out of the arm.
You're going to egress the APFR and let us know when you get your safety tether swap complete, and then we'll be ready to remove the APFR. And Butch, we're just going to wait. Enjoy the view for a little while. I know you don't have a camera. We do have HECA if you want to look toward Earth and give us your view of Earth while we wait for Sunny to get the APFR out of the whiff.
Okay.
Thank you, Butch.
Okay. You want me to do my safety tether swap first here?
Actually, we want you to reconfigure the APFR first, and then we'll have you do your swap. And Sonny, we'll actually have you take it all the way out and install it on the ESP2 WIP 5. We're looking for 6 Papa Papa Foxtrot 6. So you can set that now before you get it out of the arm if you'd like, and then the whiff will be the only thing left. Which we do like the view, by the way.
Pretty spectacular. This is the first time I've gotten to look at the Earth the whole time.
And you might get a pass over Houston if Sunny's a little bit slow here, because that's where we're heading.
Get my red on this there. Okay, I've got a red on the APSR. Trying to get it out. Goes in 5, is that correct?
6, Papa, Foxtrot 6, and it's going to whiff 5.
We are seeing live views from Butch Wilmore's helmet camera as he overlooks our home planet.
Make sure you can get your...
We just surpassed the 4-hour and 30-minute mark of today's spacewalk. This is the 274th, spacewalk in support of space station assembly, maintenance, and upgrades.
Oh, they're so stiff.
Okay. If you want Butch to come on over, he's available.
I might need him again. Sorry about this.
Your hands might be a little bit worn, so I'll send Butch over. And
I got it.
Oh, she got it. Excellent.
Yay, good job.
Good. All right, so we're looking for a clocking of 6.
We go full. Good. Papa.
6, Papa, Foxtrot 6 with 5.
Just to review this tether swap, just to make sure I remember. Main hook goes on first, correct? Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello?
The single line is where you count to 12, and then you rotate from there to get to 6, and that'll be 6. And then give us a pull twist check and a check black on black, and check the pitch knob locks and can be depressed.
Oh, sorry. That ACFR is in and locked. There's a good twist pull test. With black on black established. I'm talking about my tether swap.
All right, that sounds good. And with that, I think we're ready for your tether swap, and we'll set you up for cleaning up the rest of ESP2 and getting pictures. And Butch, you can head over, pick up microorganisms. Looks like you've already picked up the microorganisms themselves off of handrail 554. Is that correct?
That's correct. I have it, and I'm ready to go. You want me to go?
This is Mission Control Houston at 4 hours and 34 minutes into today's spacewalk. Just to do a little bit of a recap, at 10:24 a.m. Central Time this morning, Sunny Williams surpassed former NASA astronaut Peggy Whitson's aggregate record of EVA hours. Whitson currently sits at 60 hours and 21 minutes of aggregate time, and Sunny Williams' record keeps mounting at each surpassing time.
still at 3.
Sunny Williams will have 9 spacewalks completed after today's EVA, while Peggy still has 10 under her belt. Once again, NASA astronaut Sunny Williams in red stripes that you are seeing on your screen right now just surpassed the record of total EVA hours by a woman astronaut.
All right, Butch and Sunny, we're checking something on Sunny's suit real quick, so if we could just stand by for a minute or two. Sunny, obviously you can continue to clean up and get yourself clear of the arm. Let us know when you get your tether swap complete and we can get another tether config from you.
Standing by. Is on the red. Still locked. Those unlocked. Unlocked. In the yellow hook off of the ACF, off of the arm right now.
All right, Sunny, I see you pulling your tether hook off of the arm. If you want to give us the full config once you get that done, and then I have another follow-up question.
Right. Anchor is connected to the airlock. Is connected to the rail. Yellow hook is connected to the rail. All of those are locked. And then I have my red hook to my left with
All right, so you see a good config on the tether. Now, next question is, we see you on the alternate radio. Can you double-check your switch config for that?
I was wondering, the volume sounded funny all of a sudden. So I am on high, I'm on top, I am in low on my switch.
And low. All right, that's interesting. Let's check our data real quick.
The arm is ready to go away if it wants to.
That's funny. That's my next step. Just waiting for you to, no rush, but make sure you're clear.
I'm clear. I'm just going below.
No problem. I'll wait till you clear down out Nader, and then we'll back away.
Can I start doing MLI?
We'd like you to get some pictures while the sun is up of the surface for the RFG and that whole entire area. So you have the camera on you. If you could take some pictures before we close up the MLI, that'd be appreciated.
Okay, I can do that.
And Butch, sorry to have you standing by, but it'll be another minute.
It's okay.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are just approaching the 4-hour and 40-minute mark of today's spacewalk. On your screen, you can see NASA astronaut Sunita Williams, who is at the external stowage platform number 2, the work site where they removed the radio frequency group. Sunita Williams is currently cleaning up that work site as they complete this task for today's EVA.
And Sunny, specifically, once you get in place, they want a photograph of the jacking bolt.
Sunny, for your essay, I'm starting to go station forward with you on.
Great. A bunch of pictures. Couple of those. Okay.
The United States of America.
30 seconds from Houston, by the way. So if you look down, you can wave at us.
Hey.
It's a little cloudy. We won't see you, but that's okay.
I'm waving. Yep, I'm waving.
Thanks for the view, Butch. I got that. All right, Sunny and Butch. So, Butch, we're going to send you on your way to the vent on the lab port aft end cone. Avoid contact with the fluid lines and MLI on the lab aft end cone, and avoid contact with the Node 1 CBM pedals as you pass by. Obviously, be aware of cable snag hazards around the lab aft end cone. It's kind of a mess down there. And Sunny, just to give you a quick status, we've got good comm, obviously, so that's still working. And but we're tracking that on your suit. If there's any further degradation, we'll give you a call back, and we'll probably call the day. But you have a go to finish photographing. The heck of view we've got right now has been fantastic, so that's greatly appreciated. I can see the jacking bolt is still there, so that's probably a good sign. Nothing came free, and you have a go to clean up the MLI.
Okay, sounds good.
Okay, so Sunny, I'm going to give you the words for the MLI. You can stow the large small rep from the MLI tie back on the crew lock bag, and then install the MLI tent quarter turn fasteners. Sure, you verify all the stanchion cables beneath the tent, and install all the quarter turn fasteners you can get: 3 starboard, 3 forward, 4 port, and on the sassafras.
Okay. Which is that wire tie still on it?
On the MLI?
Yeah.
No. It wasn't a wire tie, it was a arch small.
And Sonny, we're going to grab 2 long wire ties from the crew lock bag to help close up the MLI when we're all done here.
I get the quarter turn fasteners first, right? Before that?
There's 10 quarter-turn fasteners. Hopefully you can get them all.
Yeah, I guess my question is, I do the quarter-turn fasteners before I do the wire tie, correct?
This is Mission Control Houston in the International Space Station Flight Control Room here at the Johnson Space Center. We are at about 4 hours and 45 minutes into today's spacewalk. While Butch Wilmore is off collecting microorganism samples from some of the vents of the space station, flight controllers are looking at a slightly increased battery amperage rate on Sunita Williams' suit. The suit is functioning just fine, and there are no issues as she continues to clean up the worksite where the RFG was removed.
Was my question clear?
I thought so.
Two, three, four, five, six. Is that what I do, right? That's what you were planning on doing, all the quarter turns first?
Yeah, but you get all 10 of those quarter turns. Did you say you already got 6? That's pretty quick.
Yeah, I've got 6. On 7. Shit down a couple.
All right, there's 30 seconds with H.
Butch, I copy. That's 30 seconds for H. So if that's complete, you can reinstall that and flip the caddy so you're ready to get the next steps.
In the caddy.
On the right side of your screen, you can see Butch Wilmore with the different canisters to collect those microorganism swabs. And on the left, we can see Sunita Williams' helmet camera as she cleans up the worksite from the RFG removal. 4 hours and 48 minutes into today's spacewalk. This is US EVA 92. USA EVA 92 is the third spacewalk for Expedition 72 and the second of this calendar year.
Have a red on the MLI.
Copy a ret on the MLI for the event.
Remind me where how the long wire tie goes while we're taking a moment here. Carl?
Okay, so you retrieve the long wire ties and position remaining MLI strap flap through the MLI tent opening from the clamshell, and then configure the long wire ties in series, one end at the high gain antenna collar tether point and the other at the mast handrail tether point. So you're going to try and close the big floppy parts of the MLI together and then close it up as best you can to cover all the metal.
The wire tie ready to me. I'm taking it off from the bag.
And Butch, we have good HECA views of your sampling, and that's the outside of the vents.
The flight control team is monitoring Sunny Williams' suit and has reported normal battery amperage, meaning no issues, and things continue to proceed. With the top priority task of the RFG having been completed, the pair of spacewalkers are continuing on with their next task. We are seeing Butch Wilmore taking microorganism swabs on some of the outside areas of the airlock. Good views and good comm continue to come in between the two crew as we just passed the 4-hour and 50-minute mark of today's spacewalk.
Move that ram out of the way. Which once you get that sample stowed, you can replace the MLI on the vent and just give us a quick view that that configuration is complete before you leave.
Okay. Hey.
With this microorganism swab, Butch Wilmore has swabbed the inside vents by performing 3 circles with the swab. He's also swabbed the outside vent arms lengthwise along the vent arm, flipping the swab with each pass. He's also sampled the top of the vent around the top surface of the bolt.
Okay, Steve, I'm sorry, one more time. The red goes, the wire tie goes around the stanchion and then pulls it back this way. Is that correct? Or the stanchion? Or does it go in the tether point of the stanchion? Remember you seeing that?
Stand by, Sonny. So, Sonny, they don't have to go around the stanchion. What we really want you to do is, because we made basically new holes by removing the RFG, we want you to close those up on the MLI. So the words tell us you want to go from one end of the high-gain antenna collar tether point and the other end to the mast handrail tether point. So you hopefully get either end of the MLI and be able to crunch it up and close it up as tightly as possible with those wire ties. Does that make sense?
Sort of. I'm getting there.
Yeah, well, the best you can. Obviously, it's the best effort. We don't want to be tying the frame down to anything extra, but if we can close the MLI onto itself, that would be ideal.
I'm heading to the CO2 vent. MLI is secure.
All right, so you're going to go forward to the lab handrail 201 to start. And when you get, it says BRT to lab handrail 216. So let me know when you get there. It's going to be canister B, and we want to make sure that you're going to be swiping areas that you have not touched yet. So be careful as you position around that CO2 vent.
Will do. All right, I'll touch nothing near it. Going for Bravo.
Okay, as you're looking at the CO2 vent, you're going to be grabbing Bravo, and you want to sample the CO2 vent using the generic swab technique, center around the vent.
Okay, let's see. Quite a good handhold over here, Butch. See why you were sort of moving around a lot.
And Butch, once you complete that sampling, you can stow it and let us know, and then we're going to translate you back to the crew lock. And Sonny, how's it going with the MLI?
Okay.
Step by step. I'm working it. Great. All right, hold on.
All right, Butch, you're heading back to the airlock aft to airlock handrail 0513.
513.
Okay. I'm trying to reach down here to figure out where I could put it around, but I remember Greer saying that it was almost too long, but it actually is not if I'm going around the stanchion handrail.
You don't have to go around the stanchion handrail at all. You should be able to stay on the MLI as much as possible.
Talking about the little hole too, and I'm trying to put down.
Yeah, and Sonny,
Thermal.
Sonny, as I said,
I think the big hole is taken up already.
Yeah, the ideal is to get it closed up, cover all the metal structure, keep the MLI close to the surface of the frame as possible so the robotic arm can operate it. Do you copy?
I copied. Can you see what it looks like?
We're going to turn HECA on as soon as we can, and we're going to take a look, and we'll make sure Robo's happy with it.
This is Mission Control Houston, and we are continuing to follow along on the coverage of U.S. EVA 92 featuring NASA astronauts and commander of Expedition 72, Sunny Williams, and flight engineer for Expedition 72, Butch Wilmore. We are hitting the 5-hour mark into today's spacewalk. This is again U.S. EVA 92. We can see Sunny Williams here on the screen completing the cleanup of her worksite, where the crew did remove the radio frequency group, which is an S-band antenna. This was the third attempt at removing this RFG, and the third time was the charm. It took a little bit longer, but the team did complete the removal of the RFG. Meanwhile, we see Butch Wilmore's helmet cam right over here, and he is completing the second task for this EVA, which was the microorganism swab. There are 6 swabs that are being taken place, and you can see that taking place right now, all around the vents and the airlock of the International Space Station. Now going back for a second to the RFG, that has already been stowed in the airlock and will be returned to Earth following a cargo resupply mission return from the International Space Station. That RFG will be refurbished and then returned back to the space station at a later date. This is Mission Control Houston.
Now I'm doing B for 559.
All right, Sonny, we have the HECA back, and we see you with the bag on your BRT. If you want to turn around and take a look at the MLI, we'd appreciate that, and that'll give us a good idea.
Stand by. There. Further away here.
Okay, Butch, you can open the thermal cover and BRT to the airlock circular handrail, and we want you to sample any portion of the airlock vestibule MLI that you can get to. Canister E, if we're counting correctly.
Okay. Vestibule MLI.
We can see Sunny Williams' legs kind of dangling at the bottom part of your screen as she continues and finishes up cleaning up her RFG worksite. Once that's done, she's expected to head back to the airlock after this. This was following a slight increase in the battery amperage on Williams' suit. At this point, all is nominal and there are no concerns. This is likely to put us in the home stretch of today's EVA, US EVA 92. And once again, we are just past the 5-hour mark at 5 hours and 3 minutes and counting for today's EVA.
And just to checking the edges as best we can as you look around. So if you want to turn to your right a little bit, that will give us the last little section, and then you can head back to the airlock, and we'll get you set.
To the right, like that.
Good to me.
That. Those robo guys are picking.
They are.
They're pretty awesome. Today was great, you guys.
Great. So if you pick up that bag and you can head up back and join Butch at the airlock. And Butch, let me know where you are in your sampling with canister Echo.
I am. Just now got the thermal cover open.
Got it. So for Echo, we want you to do any portion of the airlock vestibule MLI.
Okay,
And I bet you can report the location.
I'm going to do it just like Doug showed me, right on this forward side.
All right, that sounds good. And once you get Echo done, we can go to Foxtrot after that. Then on the Foxtrot one, we want you to get the inner surface, avoiding the stiffeners.
Avoiding the stiffeners.
All right, Butch, I see you.
Great.
How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I'm good. Good.
Good buddy checks there between the crew.
And Sonny, just to get the words on tape, can you verify that you're clear of the arm?
I am absolutely clear of the arm.
Putting that in motion, and you're going to catch up to Butch here. He's going to finish those last two samples, and then we're going to have everybody head inside.
And we just heard confirmation from Ground IV.
Actually, just one more time.
Ground IV once again is Stephen Bowen, NASA astronaut.
Sounds good to me.
Sunita Williams will continue to complete the cleanup of the RFG worksite and head back to the airlock after this. Meanwhile, Butch Wilmore will collect the last two swabs for the microorganisms task and also head back to the airlock.
When you guys get in there.
We'll see how that goes.
And Butch, how are your samples coming?
I'm sorry I didn't get to do the E.
I'm almost getting F ready. I'm opening it up now.
Okay, can you give us a quick description of where on the cover you got E, and then we'll get a quick description where you're going to get F. F, it's supposed to be the inner surface.
F was on the MLI E was on the forward side of the airlock MLI.
Copy, echo.
And F is now on the left upper side of the thermal cover.
Copy. Left upper side of the thermal cover. Okay, let me know when you've got all those stowed, and then we'll just verify all the canisters are locked in place.
They're all stowed. Canisters are all locked in place.
Okay, with that completed, you can ingress the airlock and stow the microorganism caddy.
I don't think I can get in with this thing on here, so if you take it off and let it lead me in.
Yeah, Butch.
I'm going to give you the crew lock bag also, by the way.
You hand it in once I get in.
You get in after you get in.
Butch and Sonny, once you guys get that, once Butch gets inside, if you guys want to get the, or Butch, once you can stow the microorganism caddy and the crew lock bag, and then we'll be in a good config for both of you to get inside.
You push my feet down. Thank you.
This is Mission Control Houston. We are currently in orbital nighttime as the crew continues to wrap up their tasks and head back to the airlock concluding today's EVA. We will keep you posted on how that coverage is going. We are at 5 hours and 10 minutes into today's spacewalk.
So once you get the microorganism caddy stowed and the crew lock bag stowed, we'll be picking up with getting Sunny inside.
We'll see.
And that's NASA astronaut Butch Wilmore headed back to the airlock with the crew lock bag and the microorganisms caddy, while Sunny Williams is right behind him.
That'll be my load path through you.
Sounds good.
And Sunny, let us know when you get that complete. That's a good plan, Sunny.
Okay. This safety tether is locked black on black with text. My waist tether is locked black on black, connected to his safety tether. A good load path through him. I'm going to disconnect my safety tether, put it on my mini workstation.
And Sunny, you have a good config, and you have a go to disconnect your safety tether. Airlock.
Disconnected to my mini workstation only now. When you have a chance, I will give you the crew lock bag.
Bring it on.
Mike, the key off of it. Othered.
If you are just joining us, this is Mission Control Houston here at NASA's Johnson Space Center. We are in the International Space Station Flight Control Room, and we are seeing views of the Quest airlock.
You can take one of those tethers.
At 5 hours and 12 minutes into today's EVA, that is NASA astronaut Sunny Williams, who is getting ready to get back inside after having completed the cleanup of the RFG worksite.
Tether to it.
All right. Tether to it, so then this off of there. Big one. Big one.
Are you done?
I'm done. Get myself squared away here. All right.
Wait just a second. Okay.
I'm ready to get in.
Come on in.
All right, let's try this.
Let's see if we can do it.
Feet are going to be coming in.
Yep. I'm looking for it. I'm forward.
And we can see here the crew getting back into the airlock as we near the end of US EVA 92.
Butch and Sunny, as you're doing this, when you get a chance, let me know when you turned your heckers off.
Preventing me from getting in.
Your feet? You got to bring your feet now.
Yep.
Towards the hatch.
Okay.
Yeah, you need to come forward as well. I think your back is catching. And bring your feet forward. Feet forward.
Crew is continuing to ingress into the airlock as they begin repressurization.
All right, now then, see if you can come up.
All right, let's stand by. I need to get the thermal cover. Second.
And that door is getting closed.
Okay, Sunny.
Take your time.
Mine have got back open.
Yeah, stand by.
Kid, we'll come back to you.
Yeah, done.
Yeah, sometimes you might be able to get your mini workstation in effect on one of the loops on the center of the thing.
we go.
All right, release the hook from the stowage tether point and attach the hook to the magnetic plate D-ring. Yes, let me know when you both get the heckers off.
All right, connected to the D-ring. I am taking it all the way. Magnet is stuck. My Hecka is FF82 Hecka on.
All right, EV1 and 2, the heckers are off, and then, Sonny, you can cinch that strap until snug. Should be 6 lines visible.
I cinched it and it's snug. 6 lines are showing.
And the thermal hatch cover was closed at 5 hours and 15 minutes into today's spacewalk. We are now at 5 hours and 17 minutes into today's spacewalk, where we see the interior of the space station. You can see NASA astronaut Don Pettit in there, beginning the procedures for repress. And if you look at the hatch